Morning guys, Dr. Kori here with your Monday Motivational Mastery session. Hope you're having an awesome morning or afternoon, wherever you are. But here's a question for you. Have you ever, after a mistake, a blunder, an action that is misaligned with what you've said is important to you, having done something that you feel like was an utter failure, you go immediately to blaming yourself? I know the answer to this question, unless you've really practiced and worked very hard to minimize that from occurring or doing something completely opposite. It's really, really common. We hear that critical voice in our heads that screams at us and says, "What's wrong with you? Why couldn't you do this? I knew you couldn't do it." And it takes us to a place often that says, you really don't deserve this. You don't deserve to be happy. You don't deserve to accomplish this goal. Like, why'd you ever think that you could? That voice can get really, really mean. And it can have us meandering down a path often that says you're never going to make it to your next milestone, right? So I want to give you 3 big ideas today for, in moments like that, reestablishing your equanimity and your efficacy, okay? First, equanimity is that feeling of being balanced. Equanimity means balanced mind. So when we're in that chaotic, I don't know if I can do this, like we're hearing those very critical voices, that very threatened space, we need to learn to recognize it quickly so that we can recover more quickly and have a process in place that allows us to shift into that more balanced, more integrated feeling, okay? Where we're good, like it's calm, we feel energetic, we feel enthusiastic, instead of feeling like we're collapsing. And this isn't a quick fix. It's, as I've mentioned so many times, it's a practice. It's something that we learn to do over and over again and develop our own sort of protocol for in moments like that. But it's more a tend and befriend sort of a process, rather than what I like to call a criticize and collapse process. Because when we're in that very threatened place, we're in protect mode. We're collapsing, we're covering up, we're hiding. We certainly are not open and expansive and able to kind of view the situation from this place of what are the possibilities, right? That's not what the question that we're asking. Secondly, efficacy. Efficacy is a sense of confidence that we will be able to influence the circumstances or the situations that we're in. It's being able to ask the question, this is one of my favorite questions, what may I influence now? Because we all know that we can't control everything. And so we have to ask ourselves, what about the situation might I be able to control? And I prefer the word influence. Control to me, again, is that kind of creates a sense of rigidity. It's like we're clinging to something. But influence feels more open and like we can move forward. So when we're in that space, then we can see what our choices are. So let me give you a bit of a background. I had reached out to a client because I hadn't heard from her in over a week, and I asked her how she was doing, and I anticipated that something had probably not gone well. And so I let her know I was looking forward to hearing from her no matter what, right? And she wrote back immediately, and she was very honest and she was candid, and she said, "Not good," with a big fat exclamation point. "I'm very upset and I'm disappointed in myself." She talked about excuses. She said, "I know about excuses, and I am a big excuse." She said, "That's all I have to offer." She talked about some injuries that she has been working through, frustrated about that. She listed a few things that she said she needs to do. So those things are rummaging around up in her brain, in her mind. She said, because we've worked together for a little while, she said, "I know, Kori, that feelings come and go, and that thoughts are just thoughts." And I love that, she's got skills, she has some knowledge, and now, like we've talked about so often, it's how does she put these skills into place and begin working through the process, her protocol, right? She's got the content, now we focus on the process. She said, "What I know does not seem to be helping me move beyond where I am stuck." So we come back to, I know what to do, I'm just not doing it. So it's about the application piece. She said, "I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed to even be writing this to you. I am a failure, and I don't know how to turn myself around. I know you've heard it all." This part kind of broke my heart a little bit. "I know you've heard it all, and I know I'm not following your expectations or your teachings. And I'm so very disappointed and angry with myself." She said, "I don't have any energy. Her body hurts. Excuses, ... I guess I don't know how to find the inner energy, the strength to overcome what has occurred." She said, "Like I said, you've heard it all, and I'm just one of those 98% failures. I don't want to give up, but I honestly," that was in all caps, "I honestly can't seem to get where I need to be." And let me just add, guys, that, this is someone that I've worked with for, probably at least 5 months now, who has, through our communication, really done a lot of shifting emotionally. So in that adaptive realm, like, how do I get through the times that are difficult? How do I regulate my emotions well? How do I understand my thought process more effectively? But then also practically, so logging her food consistently, being able to look at those food logs and assess what she's doing in terms of structure and timing and combining and putting all those things together. So like I said, she has the skills. She needed to reach out to me. And so I'm thankful that, I reached out to her. Otherwise, I don't know how long it would have taken. But often it's that human connection that we need. But, she ended her email with, "It's me." She said, "It's me. I'm the problem." So here's big idea number 1. First, our minds and our bodies, they're really one. Like, there isn't this dualism, that we hear people talking about. They are ultimately connected. We have one nervous system. And it's always shifting to try to find a sense of integration and balance. Our bodies and minds don't like to feel disconnected, disintegrated, and chaotic, okay? So when we've done something that's misaligned with a goal, something intellectually that we've put out there that's important to us, that's often when a limiting belief is going to pop up, because we've just done something that is connected with that belief. We've just reinforced the belief. So if I have a belief, for example, that I'm not good enough, and then I do something that allows me to say, "See, I'm not good enough," that limiting belief is right there for me. But, so now we may feel that sense of, okay, see, you know what, I knew it. Like, we may feel a little bit balanced. On the flip side, though, because what we didn't line up with what we'd put out there as being really important, it still doesn't feel good. So, I said to her, there's that old belief popping up. There's that one. It's me. I'm the problem. I'm the problem is always, if she doesn't get underneath that, is always going to be how she views the entire world. And every time she does something wrong, okay, now she has justified and reinforced the belief. See, I am the problem. So in situations when, say she's doing really, really well, and she's moving forward, and she's making progress, and she's got this awesome momentum, and she's feeling actually excited and enthusiastic and happy, if she's been operating with that limiting belief that I'm the problem for most of her life, that happiness is going to create anxiety. That happiness doesn't really feel right? So now she feels imbalanced. So then that's when we move into, usually we'll do something to sabotage ourselves. We'll do something that's misaligned with the goal because that happiness is so uncomfortable. Again, we're trying to come back to balance and equanimity. All right? But so it comes down to her being really able to say, okay, this isn't a comfortable place. Can I just sit with it? Can I be with it? Let's just ride it out for a little bit. Either way, okay? If she's got happiness anxiety or anxiety because she just made a mistake. Here's big idea number 2. Kindness is in order here. All right? I'm reaching out to her. I'm asking her, are you okay? What's happening here? How come I haven't heard from you? I want to hear it, even if you don't feel like it's good. Okay? I am modeling what she needs to be able to exhibit to herself. Okay? I said, you're allowed to be disappointed and sad and feeling like you're fed up. I said, you're allowed to be embarrassed, but guys, embarrassment comes from comparison. And unless she's assuming that I am projecting her behavior up against other people's behavior, and or she's doing that with herself and assuming that, man, all of Kori's other clients are really, they're embodying her teachings and they're doing perfect. If she's doing that, yeah, embarrassment is going to come into play. But I added for her, I said, I'm not judging you. And there is no ill will over here. There's no disappointment over here. I'm more disappointed that you're disappointed in yourself. This is a part of the process. I said, I wrote because I'm concerned, because I care about you. But I followed up by expressing to her that I don't even align with the word failure. Okay, so yes, we do act in ways that move us further from our goals, further from the outcomes that we desire. But when that happens, it's like we're in a very dark room, right? We're in a really dark space, and we are forced to try to figure out where we are and to find our way and ask questions like, okay, what direction do I move in now? So we are, the universe puts us and shifts us into this space where, okay, we are forced to ask questions for our betterment, right? So making mistakes is necessary. So failures, in the sense I said, are obstacles as opportunities. That's how I like to look at them. Okay? Yeah, we have plenty of obstacles, things that can get in our way, barriers to break through, but they're opportunities, because if we didn't have them, okay, we wouldn't have the opportunity to learn something to move forward. And if we were to accomplish our goal right now, we wouldn't have the skills that we would need to maintain that outcome, if that makes sense. Again, no, those mistakes, those failures are a necessary part of our growth. So here's big idea number 3. we have to learn to drop from an intellectual spinning, drop from there into our bodies. Because we have to get out of the story that we're spinning. When we feel like we're spinning a story. We're telling this story, and it's usually one that has terrible consequences, right? So when we're feeling as overwhelmed as she was expressing she was feeling, we don't see that we have any choices. We feel like we're backed into a corner, so we collapse, we start protecting, we start hiding. We don't feel anything but threatened in those moments. So it takes a practice of stopping, breathing, and that breath automatically puts us in a more even-keeled space, more into our bodies. When you breathe, you feel into your bodies more than you do your minds. We embody that different space, and guess what? We are, over a small period of time, able to see that there are choices, okay? And then we just need to pick one thing, just one thing to move on. And that question of what is one thing that I may influence in this situation is very powerful. So I said to her, that's all you need to do. You just need to breathe right now and choose one thing. And for her, in that moment, the one thing was going to be to breathe and say, all right, I'm okay. I'm okay. I don't need to figure it all out right now. I just need to know and remind myself that I can figure it out. Just one thing. All right, guys. Have an awesome Monday. Have an awesome week. Make it powerful. Thanks.